I also learned that I have to wait a few seconds because it doesn't always catch the very beginning of it. And sup, y'all. Welcome to Original Gamers Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Allen Ryan, also known as Huge Cow Patty or HCP for short. I am joined today by my co-host, Joel Watt.
Hello, friends.
And Nolan Brown.
Hi.
I just realized I did that backwards, but y'all were on your toes. You're
it's fine.
It's
all good. It's fine. I've been downgraded.
Oh, it's not like that.
We love you, Nolan.
Yes, we do.
You're the heart of this show.
We got a little. Is Dr. Pepper sponsoring the show tonight?
Yes, Dr. Pepper is sponsoring tonight.
But they didn't send me a case.
I mean, I really wish that were true. Because I mean, seriously, someone at Dr. Pepper called me because I would love.
As much as I would love that, I am already 220 pounds and don't need to get any bigger. So maybe that wouldn't be such a good idea. Today we are going to be talking about Metroid 2: Samus Returns, and that is because it's an old
Return
game.
of Samus.
Here, but that's right.
Samus Returns was on this.
Samus Returns is the remake that just
came
out.
We're both on this, but
true.
You're right.
And I hear the remake is really, 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 really good.
I've heard. I haven't played it.
I've been playing it.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Mr. I don't like handhelds, and he's the only one that's played it.
There is just handhelds are flooded with RPGs, so yeah.
I gotta be honest. I got Pokemon Moon for Christmas and played the heck out of it until March 3rd, which was when the Switch came out. And I haven't touched my 3DS since then. And now every time a game gets announced for 3DS, I'm like, man, that looks really good. Wish it was on the Switch. So anyway, before we talk anymore about Metroid, we haven't seen each other in a month, so we're gonna catch up. So I'll start with you, Nolan. How's life treating you? How you been?
I hate that clown.
Clown.
Cuphead.
So much. Oh yeah, Cuphead.
Oh, I thought you were talking about it for a second there, and I'm like,
no, I haven't seen it.
That is where my mind went to, and then I realized you're doing a Cuphead Let's Play for CFG.
Yeah. Let's a little bit about that. Because go for it.
So I'm doing Cuphead Let's Play for CFG. It's very slow going. It feels like. Also, I'm like, man, this is so much fun. I'm like, dang, that's like I've played an hour. That's only that many episodes. I have to stop now because I have to like record these out. I'm like, I just want to play the game right now. Like, I want to play the game. I don't want to.
See that's why
get ahead of myself. That was the issue. I'm like, I want it to be fresh when I'm doing the episodes, so I'm not like, I know this thing, like hoo, kind of stuff, but like, so I'm trying not to do that. Otherwise, I would have. Well,
so when
I
you're
say
playing
I would have beat it, I probably would have.
When you're playing it in the Let's Play, this is your first time. I mean, except for the times that you've had some technical difficulties and had to re-record things, but in general, it is the first time that you've played any particular part of the game, right?
Yeah. Like, it's been like once I've gotten I got to a certain point, I'm like, okay, now I can start watching other people. Like, I was watching the Game Grumps play, which was fantastic because just any difficult game that they play is just the best thing that has ever been.
They rage so hard.
Aaron gets so mad. I'm like, and I try not to do that in games. So I mean, I usually try and I take a second and like calm down, but at the same time, I'm sure people would love that if they just saw me like explode. So
I don't
know.
Because I don't think I've ever seen you get angry about anything.
I try not to. I mean, I think the most upset I've been on anything was like the one time, like right when what was it? When the Master Chief Collection came out, so we're doing like a game night thing, and we were playing.
Yeah.
And I got super upset because we were doing something. I got super upset. It was like you and Anna were like, "It's all right, don't worry, it's all good." Hey, so I'm like, I try not to get upset in front of people, but at the same time, I feel like
it is weird because I did this latest P3 that I did the other day, actually, or maybe it was yesterday.
Oh, I was so bummed that I missed
I was
that. I'm
playing
like, oh,
there's no time to explain or no time to explain or something. I'd never heard of it. I've got access to my brother's Steam library on my computer, so I went through his list and I'm like, what is this no time to explain thing? Downloaded it, played it, and you know, you want to be really animated and get angry, but you've spent your whole life, if you were raised as a Christian, you spent your whole life being taught not to do that.
Yeah,
yes.
Just push that anger deep to be used for when you're mugged or something. Just call upon that anger,
right?
Something.
Right. So I went back and I was watching, you know, as I was editing it for the highlight reel, and I'm like, I need to let the gosh dang it's out a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm scared
it's a learning process.
I might go further than that. I don't cuss really that much, but I'm afraid that if I actually lose my temper while playing something, I'm going to say something I don't mean to.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oops. Like, I mean, which is fine. I can just put something over that. But still.
So as someone who I don't watch a ton of Let's Plays, I feel like the most Let's Plays that I've ever watched have been yours. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, and to be real honest with you, and don't take this the wrong way, I am enjoying them. But if I weren't in charge of CFG's YouTube content, there's a real good chance that I wouldn't watch them just because it's not my thing.
That's how I feel watching. I'm like, why would people watch this? I'm terrible at this. I'm like,
so
also, I think I don't know. I'm better at games. I know better too. So that's probably part of that. But
right.
Yeah, you should watch me play Super Mario World. I'm amazing.
Like, yeah. Well, the joke was that, like, I was thinking after, it's like, maybe I'll do Dark Souls after this. I'm like, no, let's not. Never mind. That's a bad idea.
See,
actually,
I've
sure
been
I know what I want to
contemplating doing a Let's Play, but I want to do a Let's Play of a game that I already know, because like you were alluding to earlier, you want to just sit down and play the game and enjoy it. So I'm like, well, if I do a Let's Play of a game that I already know really well, then it won't be so bad. And that will actually, yeah, I could do that. And that's actually why the other day I asked Joel if he would do Mario Odyssey, which he very graciously agreed to do. I asked him not just because I don't want to do it because I want to enjoy the game, but because I know, Joel, you have done Let's Plays before, so you already have some experience. I've never done one before, and so that's another reason why
it's almost no different than live streaming. There's just no audience.
Yeah,
except that
you've done Twitch
live streaming. When you goof, everyone sees it no matter what.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you're recording, you can cover it up a little bit.
Right. So Mario Odyssey comes out this coming Friday, which is the 27th, and Joel's gonna start working on that, so we should have some Mario Odyssey footage, but that's in the future.
Yeah.
So
also, when you're recording and stuff, you get instantly like 50% worse at the game.
Yes. As soon as you turn on the camera, it is the Let's Player's curse.
Yeah. Like, it was like literally this last time recording, it was like the stupid clown thing, which was like literally me going, I'm like, I can't get this. I'm having all kinds of difficulty. Then it's like, okay, this is a sneak preview for when it comes out, like next week. Like, literally just like, okay, well, I said I'd have this boss beat at the end, so here it is, boom, and like I'm basically, then I like stopped caring and talking and just sat there and played it, and it took me like 10 minutes, to get through it, but it was like, to
talking
where I
and playing video games is hard. It's very difficult to split your brain two different ways,
especially when you're not talking to a specific person. Even just talking to people that are listening, it's a lot more difficult than like if you have your buddy in the room with you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've definitely learned that. Anyway, Joel, what you been up to? I know what you're going to be up to. We talked about that, but like I said, that's in the future. What have you accomplished in the past?
I went paintballing yesterday, and everything hurts.
Is that your first time?
It was my first time. If you saw my pictures that I posted in CFG, all that gear was borrowed, so I probably had $1,800 worth of gear.
Oh my word!
Like, yeah,
stuff gets expensive, man.
Stuff gets super expensive. Like, I don't remember if he said the marker, quote unquote, the gun was $1,800 or if everything was $1,800. So, but some of those guns can get pretty dang expensive. So
I hope it was everything, because
yeah,
like I can't think of a gun that actually is a gun that costs that much. I'm sure there's one out there.
I'm like, I know of several, but
I know they're out there. I just can't think of them.
I could get a minigun for 10 grand.
Well, yeah,
it's illegal, but
I feel like in some state there's a place where crazy stuff like that is legal to own. I don't know where that.
In
somewhere in the Midwest South.
In Louisiana, you can get a license for any weapon.
There you go.
Texas.
You have to really.
You would think Texas, wouldn't you? Like,
I would think like Texas is Austin.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's true. Like, I like to get a license by a tank. Sure thing. Just fill this out, pass background check, go buy a tank.
Anyway, so I went paintballing.
And those pictures are on facebook.com/groups/crossword gaming if you would like to see any of the welts that Joel received.
Yeah, I got shot here in the collarbone. This is still showing a little bit, maybe. I got shot right in the solar plexus, like right here. And actually, it was bam, bam. And so I got hit right here also, but it faded. It still hurts a little. I also got shot in the forehead. Thankfully, that faded. But it never showed up, I should say. And I also got shot right here, and that one faded too.
Oh,
so yeah, collarbone right in the pec there, like right, probably 2 inches from my nipple. So I really lucked out on that one.
Yeah.
Did your mask not cover your forehead?
Yeah, it only went up to my eyebrows, and I was wearing a headband, and so like for sweat and to protect my forehead actually, and like I always get a sunburn on my part if like when I'm outside for too long. So I was thankful that I had the head covering, and yeah, so it hit the headband and exploded all over my mask. And actually got shot right in the eye too. I didn't feel a thing though, because you know the mask was really good. It just went pop, and I was like, dang it, I'm out.
So now the important question: did you win?
I won, I think 2 rounds out of the 7 I played.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, and so I didn't get out 1 round, but I got out every other round. So, yeah.
Well, cool.
Actually, shot my friend pretty good in the leg.
So
that gun I had would go full auto if you ramped it up. So, yeah, it was semi-auto, just pulling the trigger. But if you pull it fast enough with 2 fingers, it'll just shoot like 14 balls a second.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, and so my buddy was on the opposing team, and well, it was a private. Whoa, your camera just anyway, sorry, it was distracting to me because when I'm talking, I don't see myself. I just see whoever said anything last. Anyway, so my buddy was hiding behind a giant like cable spool, you know, and so his legs were totally exposed. And so I just crouched down and went and like lit up the ground right in front of him. And just, yeah, I got him like 4 or 5 times. And he's like, I'm out, stop.
Nice.
So that was really fun. It was really, really fun. But I already have an expensive hobby. And so if I go again, I'm going to have to borrow equipment again because I cannot afford it.
Can't afford 2 expensive hobbies.
Not at this point in my life, no.
Yeah. Well, so it's in the time that we haven't done this show, I got suspended from work for 3 days for being on my cell phone while I was on the toilet. So that was weird. That's a thing that apparently can happen at my job, but I was very busy those 3 days of suspension and went and found another job. So I enjoyed being able to, I wasn't like mean about it. I like the people I work with, but you know, coming back to work and you know, finding out that I got the new job and then going to my current boss and handing my 2 weeks and him looking at me and go, when did you have time to find another job? Because I've been at work a lot. And I said, you remember those 3 days that you suspended me for? And he goes, no, you didn't. I went, oh, yes, I did. So currently I work I still have a week there. I work at a place that makes giant pipes. So if you're ever somewhere and they're doing road construction and they're lowering huge pipes into the ground, that's the kind of thing that we make. I don't think that we make anything like super huge. So the biggest, what is it, diameter that we do is 36 inches, and the smallest is 6. So that kind of thing, and all kinds of different metal. I am moving into a receptionist desk at a retina doctor's office, which is different from an optometrist, because an optometrist is just dealing with like, you know, glasses and stuff. This is like one of your retinas detached from the rest of your eyeball, and this guy.
Yes, that happened to my pastor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, he's got type 1 diabetes and has had it for 20 years now. No, longer than that, 30 years. And so he was going blind and had to, you know, get eye surgery and stuff. And he was driving somewhere and his retina totally detached. Like,
dang.
He stopped at the nearest place he could, or actually he called his wife and she took him somewhere. Because, you know, he was practically blind in the one eye, and it was the other eye that detached.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So he had to call his wife, and she came and got him, and they, you know, went to some like trailer of a doctor's office. And you know, he looked at it, he's like, yeah, your retina's detached. And so it's like, I'm getting a second opinion. So they drove into town and went somewhere else, and they're like, yeah, your retina's detached, you need emergency surgery. And he's like, I'm getting a third opinion. And so they drove home and went to his regular eye doctor, the retina doctor that he's been seeing, and she was like, yeah, your retina's detached, you need surgery. And so he went on Facebook and was like, hey, can you pray for me?
Yeah, no kidding.
and then he went back a couple days later, like 2 days later, and the doctor's like, oh, I guess we made a mistake. So yes, actual like miracle healing.
Wow. That's pretty stinking awesome.
Yeah. That's the real reason why I wanted to tell that story.
Yeah.
Because he experienced a miracle healing. Because he went back and she was like, yeah, I don't know why, because it's totally fine now.
That's pretty cool.
He still needs cataract surgery, and I think once they finish that, then they're gonna do LASIK surgery. But he's poor guy, for over a year now, he's been having injections in his eye to stop the bleeding that the diabetic retinopathy has been causing. So yeah. So once they finally fix all that, then they're going to go in and remove the scar tissue, and then he's going to have LASIK surgery, and he's going to have better vision than ever. So
that's good.
Cool. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. That's a cool story. Who said we can't inject some spirituality into the show? This is a Christian YouTube channel after all.
It is.
Yeah. So anyway, so I start that job. I have no medical experience whatsoever. But there is a path that I could become a tech and make a little bit more money. And that goes into, and I know this first part of this show is a little long-winded, so I'm going to try and wrap this up real quick. My wife and I, starting in November, are going to start taking the classes here to become foster parents in the state of Florida. And so one of the things that I'm really trying to do is get myself in a situation where my income is sufficient to support us, because right now it's not, and my wife has to work or we would be living on the streets in a box or something. So that's part of this move. It's not like I woke up one day and was like, I want to work at a doctor's office. No, it was, there's an opportunity here, it makes quite a bit more money, there's a path for growth. And of course, what I hope and what I pray for all the time is that CrossForge Gaming will wind up being the thing that is supporting us. I have to have a plan B, so that's what this is, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. So since we're talking about that, if y'all want, go to patreon.com/crossforgegaming and give us some money, and then that dream can become reality. All right, enough of that shameless plug. So yeah, there's that. While I'm plugging things, I want to remind everybody, and I'm sure I'll bring it up at the end of the show, November 3rd, which is a Friday. It's going to be that night. That is when we would normally have our community game night, because we do it the first Friday of every month. That's still going to happen. We are going to roll that directly into our involvement with Extra Life's game day. We're still working behind the scenes to figure out everybody's schedule and things like that. So be looking for that. It'll probably be happening on Twitch, which we don't have a Twitch channel yet, so we need to go make a Twitch channel. But that's really just because mostly everyone else who participates in Extra Life's game day does it on Twitch, because Twitch is a partner with them. And if we're over there on Twitch, there will actually be people looking to watch Extra Life streams on Twitch, searching for that. So there's just much more exposure over there on that day than there will be on YouTube. So, but anyway, we're working all that out. We'll have a plan. I'm pretty sure the game we're playing for community game night is going to be Team Fortress 2. So
I think that's what it said. Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, that won the vote.
Be looking out for that. All right, enough of all this silliness. Let's talk about Metroid 2 specifically. So, the developer of Metroid 2 is Nintendo. It says the publisher's Nintendo R&D 1. I feel like those two are switched.
Yeah, they might be backwards.
Yeah. So the developer is probably Nintendo R&D 1, which
maybe so.
The R&Ds with Nintendo are now called EAD stuff. I know they're not called that anymore.
Yeah, they're not R&D anymore.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think it's EAD.
Yeah.
That's what it said. I don't know.
At the time they were called R&D.
Yeah. It is. I'm just pointing out to people, if anybody's like, what the heck is Nintendo R&D? That's because it's not called that anymore. It's called something else. They did a bunch of restructuring and renaming. I want to say around the time that Satoru Iwata took over as president of the company.
Probably. That makes sense.
Yep. The directors of this game are Hiroji Kayatake. It sounds like a spicy ketchup or something. and Hiroyuki Kimura. Gosh, I love having these Japanese names. You guys get to listen to us fumble through them.
That's part of why
you need to take a Japanese class or two so you could actually pronounce these names.
I would love to. You know, when I was homeschooled, when it came time to pick our foreign language, I wanted to learn Japanese, but my mom was like, "No, colleges want you to learn Latin," which I'm not sure is true.
That's not true. No,
I don't feel like that's true.
Because when I graduated from high school, no one cared. Like, you learned a dead language, or a mostly dead language, for your foreign language. Why did you do that? So, yeah, I don't want to sit here and badmouth my mom, because she's a great person, and I'm really glad that she homeschooled us. But there were, if you were homeschooled, especially when I was homeschooled, there were a lot of really big Christian organizations that kind of had, especially people in the Bible Belt, convinced that everyone was out to get them, including the public school system. So, and I'm still not a huge fan of the public school system, but for different reasons. So if the public school system said, "Hey, you should take French," there was probably some Christian organization out there in the 90s telling you that the only reason the public school system wanted you to learn French was so that they could recruit you into, I don't know, being a left-wing
missionary
or something. Yeah.
Mission.
So it's a crazy thing. So I really wanted to learn Japanese, and I didn't get to, and maybe I should do that.
Okay. One of my best friends is also homeschooled his whole life, and he also took Latin, probably for the same reason your parents.
Probably.
And he's so you and I are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
He's, I want to say, 3 years younger than us.
Okay.
Maybe 4. No. He's 5. He's 5 years younger than us. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if there was probably a lot of the same influences.
Yeah.
Basically the same age as me then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He because he started. I met him at Bible college, and I started 4 years after I graduated high school, and it was my second year that I met him. So he had just, he had just graduated high school and was starting blah blah. So,
okay. For the record, my parents now recognize that a lot of that stuff that they were being told was a little ridiculous, so they're not still like that.
Yeah, this particular guy has gone full on left wing nut job.
Yeah, I feel like that happens to a lot.
He's not nuts.
People.
I love him to death. He's one of my best friends, like I said, but he's getting pretty far out there as far as his left wing ideology.
So Focus on the Family was right. They were out to get him, and they did it.
Let's talk about video games.
Yeah, let's come back.
Joel, who designed this game?
This guy was designed by Makoto Kano.
This guy.
This guy.
Sorry, this game was designed by Makoto Kano. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
I'm sure he's a lovely, lovely individual.
How do you know that's the guy? Okay, never mind.
No.
I googled him and there's a picture of him.
Like, pretty sure it's a guy.
Because this was the 90s in a very Japanese company that probably had
was it
fears
the 90s?
about hiring women.
It was
What the heck?
early 90s.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Wow.
Are you good?
We're getting there.
Okay.
So just to talk a little bit about Kano. He's been with Nintendo since 1974. He's still there. He's
what a guy.
He's like 2 weeks younger than my mom. That's amazing.
Bubsy.
See, he helped design Hogan's Alley, Gyromite, Metroid, Kid Icarus, Famicom Wars. And he worked on Super Metroid, helped with the Super Scope, and did Mario and Wario.
Mario and Wario, I think that's a SNES mouse game that never came here.
Yeah,
I think, because I want to say I might have played it on an emulator, which we don't.
What
here.
Emulation?
No, yeah, nothing. No one emulates anything here.
No,
nope, never.
No.
While you were that, I looked up. So Hiroji, the ketchup guy that I was talking about earlier, he did some character design for the original Metroid. He worked on Kid Icarus, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, Super Mario Land 3, which was Wario Land. Wario Blast, which is a really good like Wario crossover with Bomberman for the Game Boy. He also worked on the Wario Land for Virtual Boy. He's a Wario guy because then he did Wario Land 2, 3, 4, and Wario World. That was a GameCube game, right?
Yeah, Wario World, super.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
Yeah.
And then the other guy that I mentioned,
a lot of people liked.
I heard it was really good. I never had the opportunity to play it. The other guy that I mentioned, Mr. Kimura, yeah, that word. He's done a lot. Super Mario Brothers 3, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Mario Clash, which that was Virtual Boy also, right?
I don't know. I didn't have Virtual Boy.
I have no idea.
I think that's the Mario. Like it was kind of like the original Mario Brothers with the pipes and the turtles, and not Super Mario Brothers. You know what I'm talking about, the arcade game.
Arcade game Mario.
He Wave Race 64, Mario Advance, Mario Kart Super Circuit. Yeah, so this guy's been. He's done some Brain Age, Yoshi's Touch and Go. So yeah, been with the company for a while. All right, Nolan. Who the heck is this next guy? This producer. I've never heard of this dude.
I don't know. Like he's some weirdo. I don't know. He didn't really do much. His name's like Gunpei Yokoi.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Vaguely, I know. Like I think he did something else Metroid related.
Didn't he also create the Game Boy?
He did,
Yeah.
in fact, create the Game Boy.
So no one was being super sarcastic, and you didn't realize it.
Yeah.
He created the Game Boy.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
Game Boy, I think he created Metroid also.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't know
he
if he
did.
created Metroid. I know he's been involved in Metroid since like
Well, at the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah, like that whole thing. Hold on.
I think we talked about him when we did
I
our.
feel like we
first
talk
Game
about him
Boy.
every time he comes up.
Well, because he was so influential,
Yeah.
like in Nintendo for his time there.
Game & Watch, he invented the control pad,
Yep.
D-pad, and produced Metroid and Kid Icarus stuff.
Yeah. He was also the brains behind the Virtual Boy.
Yes.
And I remember reading that after that came out, he his role at Nintendo started kind of taking a backseat.
Yeah.
But then he unfortunately passed away in 1997. If I can't find it here in the Wikipedia entry, but I want to say he was involved in a car crash.
Yes. So what happened is he was in a minor accident on the highway, and so he pulled over, and when he stepped out of his vehicle, he was hit by a passing car. And
Yeah.
killed.
Yeah.
So it was very tragic.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if y'all can hear all that. Somebody is at my front door. My wife's trying to figure out who it is. So,
Okay.
yeah. So yes, he's a producer of this game. And Ella, why don't you take that composer as well?
Composer, right? Is Ryoji Yoshitomi, which I believe he worked on the original Metroid as well. I want to say
maybe. I'm gonna find that out. While he's looking that up, this game was released for the Game Boy in North America on November 1991, Japan, January 21st, 1992. So that's interesting. It came out afterward in Japan, and then in European territories on May 21st, 1992. And I know that Metroid, a lot of it because of its influence by, or what am I trying to say? It was influenced a lot by Alien.
Mhm.
It's a lot
So
more
much.
popular here in the States than it is in Japan. So I guess it's not super weird that the game would come out here first and then.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I still thought it was kind of interesting that it still did, but it does make sense when you
Mhm.
think about it like that.
So, all right, you got some information about Mr. Yoshitomi?
So he worked in the sound department, not necessarily as the composer, but and Star Fox Zero, Mario Maker, WarioWare, a couple WarioWare games, Pokemon Puzzle League, which was pretty good. Obviously, this one, and Mario Paint.
Ooh, Mario Paint.
Yeah. Yeah, and then a couple other little things. Like he also did. He worked on the soundtrack in Brawl for some of it.
Probably the
Right.
Metroid music.
He got a thanks in Breath of the Wild.
Really?
So
I wonder if,
But mostly
played
he
the
worked on
dramatic piano
whatever.
solo that indicates that a guardian is
you're
attacking
about to be destroyed. Right to get a laser beam.
Until I was able to kill them myself. That was the most anxiety-inducing piano riff I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that was. Y'all saw that comic that someone shared in the.
Yeah, that was Jenny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was fantastic.
That comic hit the internet like a month after the game launched,
Mhm.
and it was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen.
Yeah,
It's like
And it's still hilarious.
it is terrifying, especially because it means that not only is there a guardian, but it's walking and not stuck in the ground.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
the
it's
ones that are
coming
stuck in
after you.
Different, yeah. So it's like,
got
oh my
its sights
gosh,
trained on you, and you're gonna die if you don't
Yeah.
do something.
unless you you teleport out of there.
Yes,
Or
that is one of the many improvements Breath of the Wild has over Fallout and Elder Scrolls. So you're able to fast travel when enemies are nearby.
yeah.
so that way, like I mean, you can't do that when a death claw's like breathing down your neck. You can't just fast travel out.
No,
Nope.
you're like, look, you got yourself in this mess, and you're gonna
You
get
gotta
yourself,
get yourself out of it.
That's just like, well, this is on you.
All right. So Metroid 2 is a Game Boy game. It's the sequel to the original Metroid. I can't say that I've ever played it, even though I own it. I bought a y'all know that it's a carrying case. It's pretty big, and it looks like an original big fat gray Game Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought one on eBay or something and gutted it, put some foam in it, and now I carry my 3DS and games around in it. But in the case, and I'm not sure the guy who sold it to me meant for this to happen because he didn't say anything about it in the listing. There were some Game Boy games in it. A Ninja Turtles game, I think, and I can't remember the other ones, but Metroid 2 is in it. And I do have a Game Boy Color somewhere that still works. So I've had the opportunity to play it. I just haven't. So outside of this being Metroid and the things that I've heard about it, like all of the sprites are gigantic on the screen, so it makes playing it very difficult because you can't see a whole lot.
Sprites are huge.
Yeah. So other than that, I don't know a whole lot about it.
Takes up like
it's probably
almost
2/3 of the
like
screen.
Yeah, like there's like no room. I'm like, so you like run around trying to shoot Metroids. I'm like, I can see nothing. Oh, it was terrible.
So Nolan, since you picked this,
yeah,
tell us a little about it. Walk us through this.
Okay. Well, in looking for this, I was trying to figure out like what the I like did a small amount of research for this because, you know, before like I knew that there was a Game Boy game, but I didn't think it was actually like important, shall we say? As bad as that sounds, like, you know, it's like there's the console ones. It's like, oh, it's just a Game Boy one that's like gonna be, it's just stupid and lame, you know. So I never really played it. And then there was like the big thing last year with like another Metroid 2 remake when that came out and then was like instantly like dropped, you know, when it got all popular and stuff. So I tried to do this, and it turns out that Metroid 2 does not come in like the Metroid chronology, does not come immediately after the first game. It's actually pretty late in the whole thing, which I found
somewhat interesting.
That. Yeah, so there's like the first game, you know, like Metroid or Zero Mission, and it's like the Prime games, and then like the Federation Force game that I never played that everyone was super upset about. And then there's this, and then Super Metroid, Other M, and then lastly is Fusion.
Weird.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's like all that, but then if you like the whole thing, to bring it back, the whole thing with Metroid 2 is that they found the planet where the Metroids are from, SR 388. 388. That's right. I'm like, it's something like that. Yeah, 388. And they had sent in several teams to go in and try and exterminate them because they had deemed that the Metroids were too dangerous. Which, if you've ever got caught by a Metroid in the very first game, you realize that this is true.
Very.
You just die so quick.
Things are nasty.
They are. Especially, and then like the sound they make, it like invokes terror in me. Like that little like that like or what, I can't do it, but like a little sound. But
I know from playing Metroid Prime. You walk in a room and you haven't seen the Metroid yet, but you hear it. You're like, oh no, where is it?
Yeah, it's making that stupid noise.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Ugh.
So going through, they sent several different teams. They've all been wiped out. So finally, like, hey, Samus, you did a good job last time. Why don't you go in and try and do it? So she's like, yeah, cool, pay me money or whatever. And then she heads over there. And basically, you start out, there's like 40 Metroids left. 40? 39. Something along those lines of basically 40 Metroids that there's like a counter on like your HUD, basically, where like you have your missiles and health and whatnot.
Yeah.
You just kind of go through and like you'll find Metroids in various stages of their life, whether it's like the very first one you find like hatches from an egg, so like it's the very basic one. Then they go through like larval, adult, this whole thing until you finally get to the Omega Metroid, or is that Fusion? So whatever. I guess like its final form, and then you got to fight the queen, and you're going through, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. They added a couple things in this game that I didn't realize weren't in the first one at first, and then I realized like, oh wait, yeah, that's right. Where did it go? Let me find this.
Well, I think
and also some things I didn't realize were in the first game.
Yeah, the most notable addition would be the spider ball.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh, okay. And I thought that was like the coolest thing. I'm like, oh, this is legit.
Yeah.
Which
I've heard people describe Metroid 2 as, it's not Samus Returns, it's the spider ball game.
and it's the coolest thing because you can just like. And it took me a while to like figure out how to activate it. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Why isn't this working? And it's like, oh, I have to hit the down button again. Okay.
Yeah.
And
yep.
It's like, so.
Yeah. I'm looking for the number of Metroids you have to kill, and I find it weird that I've gone to 3 websites and that information has not been on any of them. You would think that would be a pretty important piece of the.
It's either 39 or 40.
Well, if it's 40,
I mean,
then it would make sense that you're only. Say if it's 40, then it would make sense that you only kill 39 of them because, spoiler alert, at the end of the game, she doesn't kill a baby Metroid, and that's how the events of Super Metroid happen, right?
Yeah. It leads into Super Metroid, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you go straight from Metroid 2 where it leaves off, and you go immediately into Super Metroid.
Yeah. So it would make sense if like it's 40, but you only actually kill 39 of them.
I think they mentioned something about that. I'm not sure. Hold on,
because she finds the baby Metroid and she's like, "Oh, that's so cute. I can't kill."
And then Other M happens.
Sucking parasite.
I know.
Like a weirdo.
Then she has like PTSD from the baby dying in Other M.
And then Other M happens.
I tried to like Other M. I like certain things about Other M. Except where you have to like find things. I'm like, what the heck am I looking at? I spent 20 minutes trying to find a very distinct point on there that it just upset me.
I had Other M.
Okay.
I had Other M and never played it, so I don't know.
Definitely 39.
Okay. It's definitely
like 39. I know I've killed 2 on here. And there's 37 left. So
well, I've killed 2 on the remake, and there's 38 left. So I don't know.
No. Now I hear the remake, other than the plot, it's a pretty big departure from the Game Boy.
Yep, mechanics are completely different as far as combat goes.
Like mechanics are supposed to be very what was it like? Wasn't Prime, right? It was Fusion.
No, it's a lot more melee based. Like you wait for an enemy to attack and you stun it with your arm cannon, and then you draw a bead on it and fire and kill it in one hit.
Oh, that's weird.
Cool. Yeah.
And, I mean, I could see how that'd be good, but
yeah, that's like the main combat mechanic in the remake. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna remember these 2 names difference. Okay, Samus Returns is the remake.
And then, I think the way to remember it is the Game Boy one is the name it feels weird to say.
Yes, it's a good old English translation.
Yeah.
Return of Samus.
So, that's weird. So the first Metroid game, and getting into timeline stuff because that's just the thing Nintendo does. They're like, just make a game, and we'll worry about where it fits in this world.
Exactly.
Later.
That's a very Japanese thing.
Yeah.
Why do all our stories have to fit in the same universe? They're just stories.
Why do you Americans care so much? So the first Metroid is the first game in the timeline.
No.
Yeah, the first Metroid and Zero Mission are the first.
Okay.
Yeah, Zero Mission is of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike the first Legend of Zelda, which is
like way late.
Really late in whatever timeline it falls in.
Yeah.
The Hero is Dead timeline.
Sure, I don't remember off the top of my head. I have
I
the book
just-
somewhere.
That's the thing. I don't have the book. I just remember. I remember what everything is in that because I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I heard an interview or read an interview with Al Numa, and they were asking him where's Breath of the Wild fit in the timeline, and he basically was like, "We haven't figured it out yet." Like we'll get around to it eventually.
It's like 10,000 years after the last game in the Hero is Dead timeline is the best theory I've heard.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard too. Is that it's like it's super late afterwards. Like it's
Because they keep
Like,
talking about
after-
this time span of 10,000 years with the Sheikah technology to where the game takes place. And so it's like, yeah.
yeah.
Ugh.
yeah.
Which also
And-
makes me think
and-
that it's like comes out like
If you watch the game theory video that Matt Pat did, like the
I haven't
thing
because
that
I don't
he-
want to hear anything. Because I'm like I'm still
Oh.
haven't heard a lot of stuff, and I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we're not
I'm
talking
getting a
about Zelda,
Switch.
so we'll move on.
Yeah. So.
I'm getting a Switch soon, and I'm
So,
going to buy Breath of the Wild.
Have a
and I'm
Wii
just
U.
gonna-
No, you sold your Wii U. Didn't you?
I have my Wii U.
Oh.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
get on
Why
the
would I
Wii.
buy it on the Wii U if I can get it on the Switch?
Because it's
Yeah.
actually a Wii
No.
game.
no,
You could get the Wii U version and then play it on your PC with all those 4K enhancements.
Yes, riding on
That'd be
Thomas
cute.
the Tank and
Yeah.
using
I saw
using-
that with in Shrek was a Hinox.
Yes, they replaced the Hinox with Shrek, which is like the best sprite replacement I've ever seen.
And Link was what's his name? Steve from Minecraft.
Yes.
That
Link
was-
with Steve from
uh,
Minecraft.
was
Instead of the
great.
sailcloth, it was Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
That mod was originally
was.
paired with a Woody replacement for Link. So it was Woody holding on to Buzz, just like in the cartoon.
Yeah.
okay.
I gotta admit, even though I have it for Switch, there's part of me that's like, I kind of want to get the Wii U version, so I can
Right?
play it on PC.
Like I have it. It's
Uh-huh.
sitting there in my drawer.
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, if I just got the
Did you play it
emulator.
on the PC?
Yeah,
Okay.
someone's got an emulator.
Yeah, there's a Wii U emulator out there that works fairly well.
Mhm.
And so if
Okay.
if you have a copy of the game, you could just drop it in your disk drive and mod it.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and like so those are the silly things that you would
Yeah.
expect from like you get into Skyrim and people do weird stuff. But there's also like people have replaced all the textures with 4K textures,
That sounds cool.
and the game looks pretty stinking gorgeous.
Cell shading,
Um,
man.
I've seen some that like mess with the lighting, and I guess some people think that looks better. I thought it just made it look not better but different, so I wasn't super big on that. Oh hey, we have another person in our chat. I haven't been paying attention to our chat. I'm sorry about that. It's pretty
Mod it till it crashes.
yeah.
That's my buddy.
Oh, okay.
He's
So-
always been like going on all of my Cuphead videos and saying first.
Oh,
for the
he's
purpose
okay.
of- Yeah, no, that's
This
yeah,
guy.
Okay. So
Yeah.
back to Metroid. I did
Yeah, back to
watch
Metroid.
Matt Pat did a game theory. I guess it didn't feel like a typical game theory though, because he was actually talking about stuff that happens in real life and talking about how the idea of something like a Metroid existing in our world is not that far-fetched.
Yep.
It's in Australia. I guarantee it.
Well, no, this thing doesn't actually exist, but that in science, in our known science, are aware of elements and things that behave the way that Metroids do. And then he also went into like the lore within Metroid of where the Metroids came from, which actually I'm sure I'm not the first person to think of this. He didn't mention it in his video, so I was thinking of it. The Metroids purpose, like why they were created by the Chozo, is actually very similar to the reason that the Forerunners in Halo created the Halo rings. It's just different ideas. So the idea being there's this thing out there that we want to kill, and the only way that we know to kill it is to just kill everything. So we're going to make something that's just going to kill everything. And the
I think
Metroids
when in doubt,
were-
When in doubt, nukes.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's not true. I'm sorry.
Gosh,
Right.
What is the reason for the xenomorphs in the Alien universe? It's something similar.
Maybe it
I wanna
is.
say.
I've as much of a film guy as I
think
am.
they-
I've never
they-
seen an alien movie.
Really?
'Cause I haven't seen the
Yeah.
latest whatever alien.
I know.
movie
I
it's
didn't see
called.
Covenant. I was so mad.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
did see Prometheus,
watch
and I kind of liked it, but they didn't
It was
explain
all right.
anything.
I thought it went kind of over something.
Gosh.
in that. I
So,
don't know.
so the
Yeah.
Xenomorphs and Alien are a creation. They're not just things that
Yeah,
live
no,
out there.
they're totally
Oh.
not natural.
Yeah.
They're like
Interesting.
biomechanical.
Okay,
Yeah,
so funny story about the first Alien movie. The scene, and again, I haven't seen it. I just know this because I know weird movie trivia. The scene where a xenomorph first pops out of a dude's chest in the movie. The only people on set that knew that was going to happen were the actor playing the guy that the xenomorph is going to pop out of, and the crew. The cast didn't know anything about it. And so their reactions in the movie are 100% real.
So
Oh, that's awesome.
another bit of trivia for Alien is the first time that the xenomorph shows up in its final form. Sigourney Weaver actually had a real nosebleed during filming.
Oh.
And so they incorporated that little like thing as like she's got a connection to the xenomorph. So in every other Alien movie she's in, she gets a nosebleed when they first show up.
Oh, that's cool.
The Ripley character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. There you go. Alien trivia, and it's
But,
related. Because...
I was watching it like for the very first time, like I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, and like I was like, I saw the blood come out of her nose, and I was like, that's a real nosebleed. That's not a movie nosebleed. That really happened. And I looked it up, and sure enough.
That's when my wife would look at me and go, "You're such a nerd. Why do you notice these things?"
Because look, you live a life long enough, you know what real things look like and what fake things look like. You watch enough movies, and
fake blood. As good as fake blood gets, it still looks like fake blood.
I can't remember the exact number, but I've seen somewhere around 1,200 movies, and yes, I'm really good at spotting fake stuff.
I didn't know that.
I keep a list on IMDb.
You can say like, "Hey, I've seen this." Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Well,
like IMDb has this. Yeah, 1,280. IMDb has this feature called the watch list. It's really meant for what you want to watch, but I just use it to say this is what I have watched. Yeah, so
I'm a little afraid to know what my list would look like if
I spent like 4 hours one night when I couldn't sleep, just like going through
click
the top 1,000 movies they have listed and saying I've seen it. And then every time I go to the movie theaters, once the movie's over, I pull out the app and add it.
I added a movie to my list today, and I wish I hadn't. I saw Hocus Pocus for the first time, and oh my gosh, that movie is terrible.
See, I have nostalgia goggles for that movie. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, no, me too.
I think I described it on Facebook as a steaming pile of gelatinous horse farts. That's how I felt about that movie. That was so bad. Anyway,
but you know what though? There's a very young Timothy McGee in there, so it makes me a little bit.
I don't know these names.
Timothy McGee.
NCIS.
Oh, I don't watch.
Literally McGee.
Wait, is that the
kid? Yeah.
I thought he looked familiar. I was like, I know this dude.
Yeah.
Where do I know him from?
Yeah, that's him.
He went from a really bad movie to a really bad TV show. He's not on a good career path. Although that really bad TV show that he's on is making him bucks, so I guess he's not complaining.
Been around a long time.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you like NCIS?
I do. Well, I did. Now everybody's gone, so it makes me sad. But yeah,
I was over at my parents' house and they were watching a show, and I thought it was NCIS because Tony DiNozzo was on it. And then they're like, "Oh no, this is a new show that he's on," and I went, "What?" I didn't know he left.
That's why he's not on NCIS anymore, because he's on the new show.
Your buddy Ginzu 44 is. So what did you say about NCIS? It's a bad show. Look up the clip on YouTube where Abby and McGee are both using the same keyboard, and then what's his name? The old guy who's in charge. Help me out here. Gibbs. He goes around to the back and unplugs the monitor, and that somehow takes down the entire NCIS network so that it can't be hacked. I don't think any of these people know how computers work. Not a one
Well,
up.
they're TV show writers. Of course they don't.
Anyway, enough about that. So
Metroid 2.
yeah, back to Metroid 2. So I have played the original Metroid, and I'm going into like sound design and musical score. It's very, the original Metroid is very, very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Is this similar to that? Just a lot of creepy noises.
Yeah.
And
Part of
coming
the
out of that.
atmosphere of the original Metroid, I think, was the fact that there wasn't a lot in the world. Like, it was a very empty world.
Yeah, the background's just black.
Solid black.
Mhm. And it's kind of unnerving.
Being a
After
Game Boy
while.
game, this is
It's all
monochromatic.
grayscale.
Yeah, so it would have
Yeah.
been
So
beige
now it's kind of
Well,
gray.
or greenish.
Well, yeah, the original
Well, I
Game
mean,
Boy
yeah, I
was
guess if
green.
you're playing on the original,
Yeah.
it'd be green, but
It was definitely
yeah.
green. You play on a Game Boy Advance, which is what I've got it. I've got it in Game Boy Advance and a copy of the Game Boy game. It tries to add color, but it's not good.
yeah.
Like I have it on here, and everything's grayscale. So
Okay.
Well, did you have a sticker on that? What was that on your 3DS?
Hyrule
Yeah, it was
map.
on the back of your 3DS.
Oh, okay.
That's the front.
What is that?
It's a Hyrule map.
Why?
From which game?
I got it when I got Ocarina of Time. I don't know which Hyrule it is. Like I've been trying to figure it out because I feel like I know
Is it Ocarina
most,
of Time?
if not all. I think it's supposed to be Ocarina of Time, but it's not in the right order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like
Because it came with
Ocarina of-
Ocarina of Time 3D.
Mine didn't.
Like, I got a special edition.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I think I got the
But-
re-release.
Yeah. So it was
So
like I got a
maybe it
special
is.
edition one, and then it just but it's definitely not like Ocarina of Time, like Hyrule, because
Yeah.
it almost seems
Is-
like it's partially
Skyward Sword?
It looks kind of Skyward Sword. It looks kind of TP, and it looks kind of Ocarina of Time. So I
So
almost
maybe
feel
it's
like it's
just
just some
generic
kind
map.
of weird amalgam of like,
Yeah.
hey, here's Death Mountain over here, but way over on the opposite side is Hyrule Castle. I don't know. So
Anyway.
Anyway.
Hyrule is like the town of Springfield. It's just wherever it wants to be.
yes, that's very true. So,
Indeed. So is there much in the way of music in this?
there is.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say the music in this game is nearly. I mean, I love the original Metroid OST. There's so much good stuff in there. Like, there's a lot of stuff missing that's not the same on here. Like, it's just like a lot of like the boss battles music from the first game that you can think of is obviously not here because Ridley is not in this game. Unfortunately,
Yeah, you've got like 40 mini bosses, so
I know, and
that's
it's
true.
basically you're fighting. Well, yeah, like that's the whole thing. Like there's like the Metroid boss battle music sort of thing, and then there's like the final boss music. But and there's like all the different areas, but there is a lot of, I would say there is atmospheric music though, especially like when you're getting close to one of the Metroids kind of thing. Like there's one I found that like I found a broken shell, and the music kind of changed around the time I got to there to something. It was somewhat ominous, at least it felt like to me. At the same time, I'm also like, there's a Metroid somewhere in here. Where is it? Like, so that's also me, but yeah. So
So this game pretty typical I know everybody calls it Metroidvania. I don't like calling it that because Metroid's always been that way and Castlevania was not, but it's pretty typical Metroidvania style of
pretty much.
like you're gonna go here and find this item and then you've got to backtrack so that you can open this door and all that cool stuff. So
the one thing I thought was kind of nice with this though is that it starts you off with 30 missiles.
oh wow.
Which I thought was I was like, oh wow, dang, look at that. Where I got all kinds of missiles for days.
you
We
mean
also
a Metroid
fight the
game
first-
where you don't start out with absolutely nothing.
I know,
So
right?
novel.
Right?
There's another
like-
question I have. Do you start out playing a little bit of the game with like souped up Samus and then something happens and you lose all your powers?
No.
You start at a point and you grow from there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's yeah.
But it's very basic. Like she's only got the one beam, and I don't think she can even morph ball at the beginning.
No,
How
she
do
can't.
they explain that away?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something happened in Metroid Fusion. I mean,
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Fusion
something happened in
Prime Federation.
Metroid Prime.
in
'Cause
Federation
Metroid
Force.
Prime, she lost all of her stuff all the time, so it's just
Yeah.
somewhere in there. They knew back then.
Yeah,
They
they're
knew
like-
26 years ago.
Like we're gonna explain this later in a GameCube game. Like, what's a GameCube? Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. It'll
Don't worry
happen.
about
Don't worry about it.
Trust me,
Mm,
it's gonna work itself
Yeah.
out, just like Zelda wound up doing.
yeah.
But they'd only made like 2 Zelda games at this point.
That's true.
Yeah.
So somebody working at Nintendo was a Time Lord.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Did they only make the 2?
But by the time this game was
91?
out, yeah, it was
Yeah.
just the 2 Metroids or the 2 Zeldas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A Link to the Past didn't come out till 92 or 3. I wanna
That's
say.
right.
Yeah, and Link's Awakening was after.
After that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new Link's Awakening. I was thinking Link to the Past had come out already.
Mhm.
So I thought a Link to the Past was like came out.
Okay, now I need
a
to
month
confirm this.
All right.
Randomizer.
Anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
we know that I've never played this game. I haven't played the Game Boy game. I haven't played the remake. I also have not played AM2R, which I'm sure we will talk about here in a little bit. Little teaser. AM2R was a fan-made remake that came out before the 3DS remake.
Came out
Did.
last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
was like a year
in
ago.
typical Nintendo fashion,
They're like,
Nintendo
nope.
said, "Hey, we're gonna stop that." See, that's I understand, protect your IP and all that stuff. What I don't get though is like some other companies. Let's use Sega for example. Sega sees all these people making Sonic fan games, and
Sonic
they
Mania.
go, "Hey, let's hire these people." And then Sonic Mania happened, and it turns out to be probably the best
Sonic game come out in a
since-
long time.
yeah, since the Genesis. Well, Nintendo, somebody's making a fan-made game, and they're like, "No, just stop doing
Stop
that."
there. Yep.
But
more.
again, it's their right. I'm not saying that it's not. It would just be nice if they would, utilize some of this.
Exactly.
So anyway, so Nolan, you've clearly been playing this game for a while, correct?
I got this a month ago when we originally said we were going to play this. And I'd been working at it and I'd played off and on, but as I do in these types of games, I got very lost and kind of stopped playing for a little bit. And then the day before we were supposed to do this, like beforehand, I'm like,
2 weeks ago,
I need to get further. Yeah. Like I need to get further in this. Like, okay. So then I got a decent amount further in there. Found some things. But
So you bought this for Virtual Console to do this show then?
yeah.
Oh.
I never had it. No.
Never had it.
It was like
Kid
$4.
then.
It was $4 on the 3DS.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that.
I know. I'm like, I'm down. Like, because what's funny is like, then I went in the, because we have a retro game shop here in town.
Mhm.
Like, I went in there looking for Link's Awakening for something else because I realized I don't have a physical copy of that. And there was Return of Samus right there. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, obviously it wasn't $4, so
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay.
So
And
I had gotten this just before, like when we announced it, because I was like, hey.
And Joel, you've just played the remake.
Yeah, I've just been playing the remake. I have a physical copy of the Game Boy game, like I said, sitting back there on my Game Boy Advance, but haven't plugged it in and booted it up. So.
Yep. Same with me. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
But hey, the remake is really good. You should go play it if you have a 3DS.
Yes.
Recommend it.
I probably will at some point. I'm like, yeah.
I've
I
heard
just wanted to play
the
the
3D is really good in that too.
Oh, I have a 2DS, so I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Okay. Do you have the clamshell the clamshell studios? Okay. Yeah. All right.
That's so funny.
The chat. I just saw.
Oh,
Boy.
your joke
Anime
was
said-
happening in the chat.
Best Sonic game
gracious.
since R.
Since Sonic Art, yeah.
Oh,
I'm telling y'all, if Sega would put Sonic R on Steam, or if I can get a hold of a
Play that in
Sega
a
Saturn
heartbeat.
with a copy of Sonic R, we will do that game for this show. But I want a way to play it.
I saw a guy who got his copy of Sonic R for PC working, but I will not point you to him.
Why? 'Cause I have my CD to my
Yeah.
PC.
No, this guy, that's what he does, is he does like reviews of old PC games and he gets them to work and plays them and tells you how bad they are.
Oh,
And I refuse because I'm not gonna let you take his advice and get it working.
Well, one day, there's a retro game shop around the corner from here. Maybe I'll just go out there one day and see if they've got a Saturn and a copy
go
of
buy a
it.
Saturn specifically for Sonic
just
R.
Just
so
to
I
play
can
that
watch
awful game.
Just Sonic R.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh,
So little,
I
but
approve.
it's gonna happen on this
Sorry,
show.
this is a
one day.
long running joke.
Yeah.
Like, if you never listen to this podcast, you'll have no idea why we're laughing and going on about this.
And one of these days, I am gonna get all the old episodes put up on the YouTube channel, so that those of you who don't want to just listen to the audio can go back and.
By the way,
catch up.
I changed Patrick's name in our Facebook chat to Sonic R
Sonic
like
R.
forever
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
and he never changed it to anything else.
No.
It's okay.
That's
I'm
'cause-
I haven't-
still spaceship,
I haven't changed
right?
mine. I think you're still Spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One day I was in a weird mood and I changed Nolan to Pokemans, and
Yeah.
and Patrick is Sonic R. There's no space either. That's the worst. That's the best part.
Yeah.
There's no space. It's
There's no
it's
space.
Sonic.
It's both the
Sonic.
best and worst part of it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Pokemans with a Z and Sonic are capital R.
That's right. Because I never see mine, so I like forget that that's what
Yeah,
it is.
and I'm sure I'm still
Like-
space, right? Or is
You're
it?
Yeah,
still
you're
space-
still space. You're still spaceships.
Spaceship.
Yeah.
It makes me think.
By the way, I haven't seen the Lego Movie, and I really
You
need to.
It's a fantastic movie.
You should.
I saw the Ninjago movie when Caspian was here, and it was good, but
Not Lego Batman.
considering how good both the Lego Movie and Lego Batman are, I was a tiny bit disappointed that there were, like I said, there were some really good parts. My favorite part was that Lord Garmadon, he's the bad guy, and the main hero is his son Lloyd, but Garmadon pronounces his name Lloyd because Lloyd is spelled with two
Lloyd.
L's.
Yes,
Lloyd.
and it's not, he doesn't just do it one time for
Every
the gag that you see in the trailer. He does it every single time that he says his name,
in true villain fashion.
and it's pretty great. But yeah, it's a since I'm talking about the movie, if you just don't have anything better to do and want to go see the movie, you want to go to the movie theater and see a movie, you could do way worse than the Ninjago movie, but
I'm sure.
don't go in there thinking it's going to be as good as the first two Lego movies, because it's still decent.
I should probably go see the first two just because, and then go watch Ninjago at the cheap seats when it goes there.
And I actually kind of like the TV show that's on Netflix. I'm sure
Oh, the
Because it's not
movie's
a
based on the TV show, right?
a little bit. I mean, like, all the characters come from it, but the plot is not super the same. It's
Okay.
very loosely based on the TV show. I really like the TV show, and I actually kind of think the TV show is better than the movie. But
Sometimes it's how it works.
Hey.
yep. But anyway, it's like I said, if you're just looking to get out of the house and go to the movie theater, you could do way worse than the Ninjago movie. All right, so yeah, and we've already discussed the several other times that we've talked about Metroid games, the cultural impact and influences that, like, Alien has had on this this series of games, and how it kind of spawned a genre. We call it Metroidvania. I know not all Castlevanias are like this. So what is it? Symphony of the Night, was that the one that
Symphony of the Night is what
Yeah.
started it. That kind of there was a couple very similar to that, but then it stopped
right?
because they also stopped
And-
making Castlevania games. But
Yeah, that's
Lord
why
of
you have
Shadow
that-
is really good. I
Which game?
really like those.
Lords of Shadow. Yeah.
Lords of Shadow. Like I got it on Steam when it was
Wasn't-
super cheap.
Well, like,
It's like-
Konami in general has stopped making games. Like,
Yeah.
They're still publishing that weird Metal Gear 4V
Oh gosh.
zombie game or whatever it is. Oh,
Yes.
and Bomberman R for Switch was a Konami.
Oh yeah, they
game,
picked up
so
that license. I forgot.
I mean, they're not what they used to be. That's for sure. They're a shell of a company, but they dabble here and there.
Pachinko.
Yes, that's where the money is apparently.
Yeah. I
yeah,
said
so-
that because there is a Metroidvania game that the creator of Castlevania made recently. Or
Oh
it's
yeah,
still-
he
development.
kickstarted it or something.
yeah, he did a
Like,
Kickstarter.
oh, that's right. Blood of the Night or something. It's supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot remember the name because it's something ridiculous like that.
It's basically yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is it out of the Kickstarter already? I don't actually know.
Hold on.
Are all three of us looking this up?
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night by Koji Igarashi.
Blood of the Night is a Pathfinder book. Sorry.
Oh, Pathfinder. Oh man.
I'm like, what is it?
Bloodstained.
Like that's the thing. It showed up. I'm like, oh,
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Bloodstained, yeah.
Koji
that's it. Okay.
Igarashi. Gosh, that was hard to pronounce. That
Yeah.
Koji Igarashi.
They're
Yeah.
still taking pledges.
Yeah,
Are they
So-
really?
Yeah.
because it's like
Wow,
been
they are.
because like the game keeps getting bigger, so they have to keep like restarting. Like they do another Kickstarter.
Yeah. And that sometimes that's good and sometimes
11 times the
not so good.
original goal.
because as we all remember, Mighty Number 9 raised a butt ton of money and then
That
that
did.
thing happened. But then you also have Ukulele was successful. Even though now that Hat in Time is out, I keep hearing that it's the game that everybody wishes Ukulele was. But
Yeah, I hear that too.
yeah, I
I
really
need to
want
play
to.
them both.
I really want. Yeah, I'm waiting for Ukulele to come out on Switch.
Like ate all my time.
It sure did. And then Mario is just gonna do it again.
Yeah, especially
Here.
since I'm committed to this Let's Play now. So
Yeah. So I'm still waiting on Ukulele to come out on Switch, and
Yeah.
the Hat in Time developer hasn't said anything about a Switch port that I'm aware of, but I'm
is
kind of
Hat in Time on PS4?
I think it's on
I
PS4.
thought Hat in Time was on Switch.
No,
No,
it's PS4, X1, and Steam.
PC. I've seen everybody
What
playing
the-
it on PC.
What's
Yeah.
happening?
What's
What's happening?
What do you mean, what's happening?
Stop
What do you mean
that.
what's happening? What? Stop what?
There's
Sorry, I
nothing
literally
happening.
started playing in one of the like 10
I
tabs I have. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
was like, I don't know what you're
Like,
talking
I didn't
about.
do
What do you-
anything.
Sorry.
What do you mean?
We're talking about 3D platformers. What's
Yeah.
going-
Stupid. Stop.
anyway, while you figure that out, I'm hoping that the Hat in Time developer ports it over to Switch because I'm telling you, the Switch has ruined me. I want to play everything on it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got any trivia really? Oh yeah, trivia AM2R. We can talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
So,
that was about the only thing I found.
real big thing. Oh, you also have in here. This game is the introduction of Samus' ship.
Yep.
So there you go.
It's the first
Oh,
time. we get
right,
to
yeah.
see it.
The spider
That's true.
ball and Samus' ship introduced in this game. Okay, so AM2R is
Oh, Also,
yeah.
one other thing that this game introduced was the Spazer Beam, which is like that 3-shot.
Yes, that is
That you
very
re-
useful.
that's
Oh,
like
okay.
the
Metroid.
best thing ever in Super Metroid, and
Yeah.
Yes.
the Plasma Beam was
Oh,
also
what?
introduced in this.
Plasma
yeah.
is my favorite in Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
cool.
So those were
I
yeah.
love seeing the characters disintegrate in that game.
Also this you also got the Varia suit in this one.
Okay. I didn't
that
know that.
wasn't the suit she was wearing in the first one.
I don't think so.
I guess maybe not.
Did
Okay,
I-
but you,
I thought
you
they
are right.
push-
I feel like in
Yeah.
Prime, the various suits, the suit that you get that is heat resistant, so that you can go into the lava area. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Yeah, so you're right. That's not her default suit.
yeah, in the remake in Samus Returns, I have found a heat room, and I need an upgrade to survive in there.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so AM2R, which what does that stand for? Another Metroid.
Another Metroid 2 remake.
Which okay, so that implies that there are others. Is that
I have
true?
no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Anyway, it was developed by, and actually anybody got that Wikipedia? I'm sure there's a Wikipedia entry for it.
For AM2R?
Yeah, so we can yeah, here we go. Wikipedia.
And go.
It was developed by Milton
Guasti?
Wow.
Under the pseudonym Dr. M64, which I wonder if that's Dr. Mario 64 is what that's supposed to mean.
Maybe. Or Dr. Milton.
Or Dr. Milton. I wonder if he's a doctor.
Dr. Metroid?
That would be cool.
Who knows?
It's released in August 2016 for Windows, coinciding with the 30th anniversary of the Metroid series. It is an enhanced remake of the Game Boy game, which we already know, borrowing art style and overall feeling of the Game Boy Advance Metroid Zero Mission.
Yeah.
And of course, shortly after the game's release, Nintendo sent DMCA notices to websites hosting AM2R. I'm sure, you know, it's the internet. Once something's out there, it's never dead.
It's never gone.
So surely, if you looked hard enough, you could find a copy of this. You don't. It's a self-contained program. You don't need like an emulator or anything to run it. You just boot up the exe.
It was actually created in Game Maker Studio, which is like a free program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's called Another Metroid 2 Remake because a lot of people, when this started development, a lot of people were trying to remake Metroid 2 because it's kind of the black sheep in the franchise.
Yeah.
And so, but none of the others actually completed their development. This is the only one that actually did, because this guy was super dedicated.
Yeah. So, and it was apparently really, really, really good.
Yeah.
From what I've been told, he finished it, right?
Yes, it was a completed game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and as far as I know, the map was identical with a few extras. And yeah, he took like all the mechanics from Super Metroid and Metroid Zero.
Metroid
Zero Mission.
Zero Mission. Yeah, yeah.
Zero Mission.
And maybe even Fusion, and like kind of mashed them all together to make it all work well. And yeah.
The game was nominated for the Game Awards 2016, but was later removed from the nominations page without notice, probably because of the DMCA takedowns.
Probably.
I would imagine.
You don't want to give an award to a pirated piece of software.
Yeah.
Not really.
Most definitely. And I wonder, like, if he had just changed Samus and all the
Like
enemies to
Freedom Planet?
something else. Yeah.
Freedom Planet was a Sonic game.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Sega said no, and so they just changed the sprites.
Right. And even to the point, so I played Freedom Planet on P3 a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and the lead character, I can't remember her name, that's Sonic.
Yeah,
Just
straight
as
up.
a female and purple and wearing clothes. Otherwise, it's Sonic.
Sonic is a nudist.
Yeah, except for the shoes. He's got them feet covered.
Yeah, can't have that
Thankfully.
toe cleave going, you know.
I don't know why I'm thinking of this. Have y'all seen that picture of Kirby and he takes his shoes
Yes.
off?
Oh, somebody
I hate that picture.
It's the worst.
It's so creepy. It's so creepy.
Don't you dare, Assad, don't you dare.
He's the original one who showed it to us too.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He's probably like, "Oh, I've got that on my phone in a folder called Nightmares, and I'm just gonna share it." So yeah, that's what that reminded me of. Like Sonic takes his shoes off, and he's just got creepy human feet. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, it does say here in the Wikipedia page, a year after the release of AM2R, Guasti announced that he was hired by Moon Studios to work on Ori and the Will of the Wisp as a
The
level
sequel to
designer.
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Well,
Yes.
so there you go. Nintendo didn't offer him a job, but somebody did.
Yeah. Good
So,
job, dude.
There you go. That's the way to do it. You want to get a job in the games industry, steal somebody else's property and make a game out of it. No.
So Assad is now defending himself. I found that by chance.
Sure. And what weird Google thing did you search for that pulled that up? We don't want to know. This is a family show. Keep that to yourself. Yeah. So that's I don't know. I have mixed feelings about fan games. Like if I'm very against pirating and all that stuff, but then there's also this thing where it's like, other than not creating the characters, like original characters, he did make this game from the ground up and put a lot of work into it. But anyway,
Okay.
I guess that's an ethics conversation that maybe we should have
For another
someone.
time.
He found it on Facebook. Sure he did. Some
That could
dark corner of Facebook. All right. Enough
Yep.
of that. Let's Nolan, is there a Metacritic score for this game? So
Kinda, sorta.
Kind of sorta.
There's one for the remake. That if you want to try and guess that.
I would
But not
imagine
the
that the
original.
Metacritic score for the remake is a lot higher than it would have been for the Game Boy game.
Right, yeah,
But-
I'd imagine so.
But sure, if that's what we got available to us,
I'm like
then-
that, and that's because I was checking. I'm like, let me see it. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
So-
so we can do that. So if you're new to the show, we play 2 games here at the end. We'll get to the second one here in a minute, but the first one is we guess the Metacritic score of the game that we're talking about, assuming that there is a Metacritic score. Oftentimes we do have to go with remakes or, reissues. Fortunately, thanks to the Virtual Console, a lot of old Nintendo games wind up with Metacritic scores, even if they didn't when they originally released, but it doesn't always work out. that
Unfortunately,
way.
not this time.
So we play this Price of Right.
Rights of rights.
Yes, Price is
Yeah,
Right
you say
style, which is that the person who wins is someone who does not go over the score and is the closest. And I finally settled on an order because it actually does benefit you to go last, and we just go in the order of how we pick the game. So since I'm picking the game next week, I will go first. We are using the remake. I know the remake was very well received, but it is still Metroid 2
Mhm.
under the hood. I'm gonna go with an 85.
Okay.
I'm gonna aim high and say 95.
Okay.
Right.
So Joel, unfortunately, you shot a little high.
Dang.
Yeah.
Patrick, you're really close. It's an 86.
Heck yeah!
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
Oh, see, if you would have been that guy and just gone one
thought you were
over, you'd have
I'm like-
nailed it.
If you're that guy, that's gonna be the
Because-
best
Yeah.
thing ever.
What I've played of the remake of Samus Returns so far is really good, and so I mean, 4 hours I put into it. Yeah, I'd give it this a 95, but why I don't review games?
That's right. All right, so the next
23.
the next little game that we play here is we play 20 questions. So the we rotate who picks the game that we're going to play. It is my turn to pick the game next, so I know what the game is. My co-hosts here do not. They have 20 questions to guess, which they have answer. They have to ask. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. They have to ask yes or no questions. They have 20 of them. The 20th question really needs to be their guess, though, if they make it all the way to 19. So technically, it's more like you got 19 questions and then a 20th. So let's start.
Okay.
I got Nolan and I are both dancing, and there's no music playing.
I'm just like,
It's so weird.
there's nothing going on. I just like doing this in the background.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I'm listening to Patrick, just like
To see
bobbing
if
my
it'll
head. There's no
mess
music.
with Patrick for some reason. Just because, just like
See
what
if
are
he
you
pays
doing?
attention. Sorry.
Yeah, and I was too busy pulling up the Wikipedia entry for the game.
Yes.
I
You
didn't,
didn't
know
even
what was
notice.
happening.
Great.
Yeah. so
Okay, so who's going first? Sorry.
Oh, it don't matter.
I'll go.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
Nope.
Okay. So to start with, we're gonna do
Weird question now.
my normal weird question here that occasionally is quite useful. So, in this game, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So in this game, do you have a let's say less than ordinary weapon that you use?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know like how that's going to help. But, all right.
That's what's great
Not
about
a
the
sword
first
and
question.
not a gun, probably.
Yeah, conventional weapons would be swords and guns in
Mhm.
video games. So
Yeah.
probably, what are you using? Like an umbrella?
It's a whip. It's Castlevania.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. It's Fantasy World Dizzy. Is that the game about the egg?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know what that is.
Dizzy is an egg, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
I only know this because of Proton John and his weird fetish with eggs.
That he does.
And weird video games. Terrible
He does.
video games. Sorry, I'm going way off track here. Is this a multi-platform game? That's my usual question.
Yes.
Dang it.
Okay. Did this game come out after January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Is this on a Nintendo console?
No.
Okay, that narrows down a lot.
Is this on Windows?
It is on Windows.
Is this on Xbox?
Are you asking about a specific Xbox console
Is this on
or
the original Xbox?
on the original Xbox? No, it is not on the original Xbox.
Okay, but it is on Windows.
It's on Windows.
And the way you asked that makes me think
It sound like it's on the 360, but we shouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, it is over 10 years old now.
It is,
Yes.
which makes, especially since it apparently would be on both, makes me think of very specific.
Windows and 360.
Yeah.
I mean, I would confirm first.
Yeah. Is this on the 360?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What question is that? Like 5?
That was question 7. And for those of you listening that don't know, a rule for this to be a retro game is that it has to be 10 years old. So
Yeah.
anything from that came out on or before October 22nd, 2007 is fair game.
Which is why we haven't done like Demon Souls yet.
Yeah.
Because that came out like in 11, which shocks me.
Oh, wow.
I know. I thought it was older.
Yeah, they went like as soon as Demon Souls was a hit, they tried to make a sequel, and that's why they made Dark Souls.
Dark Souls was 13. Number 2 was 14. Then like
Oh my
Bloodborne was
gosh.
15. Dark
these
Souls
games
3
are
was
not
16.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of those are the game, though. So
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh. I'm totally using Google. Was this developed by Microsoft?
no.
Okay.
Is this a single player game primarily?
Yes.
One player. Okay.
Was this developed by Capcom?
No.
Ah, dang it.
That was
thought I had a
question
ringer.
10.
Oh, ooh. I think I know. I have an idea.
Let's see.
Now I'm going to start dancing.
Because we're not paying attention.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm not paying attention. See, this is not like my field of expertise. So I'm really just like, I don't know.
Everybody supersonic race.
Here's a link.
Right on the ground.
Shut up.
Let's see.
I have a really good idea if you want to pass.
Yeah, if you want to go, if you have one, go for it.
Okay, was this developed by Rare?
No.
Ah,
What game are you thinking?
Viva Pinata.
Oh.
Oh.
PC?
I don't know, but it's on 360 and it's 10
Yeah.
years old.
Oh, that's okay.
It's probably not on Windows, actually. Now I think about it.
Well, is this like an open world game?
Nope.
No. Okay.
It's a single player game.
Mhm.
It's on both. Oh my goodness. No, that was exclusive. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. None of these games. You wouldn't pick that. Final Fantasy 11, you wouldn't pick that.
Oh no. I haven't played it.
It's also not a first. That's not a one player. That's the MMO.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's, an
That's the
MMO.
original MMO.
That's the
Street
opposite
Fighter-
of a single
Street
player
Fighter 2
game.
Hyper
Yeah.
Fighting is not one player game.
Mhm. So I
Um,
assume that's Capcom, which you asked about.
I was thinking
already.
Dead Rising, actually.
Oh, ooh,
That's probably
Oh.
10 years
on
old,
PC.
isn't it?
So, is this Doom?
Are you asking me if it's Doom? are you-
the 2006 remake?
No.
No, yeah, I am out of ideas here.
Would you just use guns in that? I mean, I guess they're probably
You
weird
do.
guns,
Oh,
but-
okay. You said not conventional weapons.
Yeah.
There are a lot of unconventional weapons in Dead Rising. So that seemed
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a ring.
that's like Dead Rising was a good one. That's
Oh, I should have
probably gonna
picked
say.
Dead Rising too. That's a great game.
It is.
Are you shooting people?
No.
Okay. That kind of helps. Okay. Okay, so you're not shooting people.
That was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not developed by Microsoft or Capcom or Rare.
That is
So
correct.
who else developed games? Was this Rockstar? Was,
Sonic 06 has a score of 46. I don't know why that's funny. It's not the lowest though, which I find hilarious
It's
for whatever
funny
reason.
that it's that high, to be honest with you.
okay,
Honestly,
you know what?
yeah.
I think we need to narrow this down. If it's like 06 or 07. So, did this game release in 2006?
No.
No. So it's either before or after that. When did the Xbox 360 came
The
out?
360 came out the fall of 2005 because the Wii and the PS3 were a year later in 06.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably don't have a very large selection of games from 05 because it was just like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Got no help from chat. I'm like,
Nope.
we look and see if
Just-
someone has an idea. Nope.
Just it's Fantasy World Dizzy, whatever that is.
Oh, wait. Oh,
There are
wait. You said you
34
don't.
games listed on Metacritic for Xbox 360 in 2005.
You said you
No.
don't shoot people, correct?
You do not shoot people. This is
Not
correct.
shoot people. It's not worms then.
No, it's I mean, worms aren't people, but
That's true.
you are
But-
correct that it's not worms.
Like
I'll go ahead and give you
that wasn't a question. Yeah, like wait, that wasn't a question.
No, I will go ahead and give it to you.
Jeez, dude.
Oh, you don't like this game. And you said it wasn't Rare. Never mind.
Yeah.
Um, So it's
I
not
know.
Perfect Dark Zero. So that came out in 2005.
No, that game's terrible.
Single player.
It's not to
Don't
say I
shoot
wouldn't. I
people.
wouldn't have picked it just for fun. And Perfect Dark Zero's multiplayer.
You're right.
In fact, it was the first console game to have 64
It's not
player
open
online.
world.
Okay, so
mean
none of these games
player
listed in
online.
2005 are really
Oh wait,
okay. So
I'm actually a little surprised how
is
much
this developed
trouble
by
y'all are having.
Ubisoft?
No,
Damn it. Okay.
I'm a tad bit surprised y'all are having as much trouble with this as y'all are.
I don't know 360 games, so I'm like I have no idea. I'm like maybe it's Assassin's Creed. That'd be interesting.
Oh, that is 10 years old now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's I'm
but
like
no.
oh hey, there's a good one. You don't shoot people. Interesting
well,
weapon.
mhm. Was this developed by Valve?
It was developed by Valve. This is question 16.
Huh?
Okay,
Wait a minute.
so that limits things to the Orange Box collection.
Pretty
but-
much.
You shoot people in the orange box exclusively.
No,
No.
Yes.
in 2 games, but not in the
Two
third.
game,
Hey,
but
someone
not
in the
third.
someone in the
Someone in the
chat
chat
just
got
got
it.
it.
It's Portal.
It's
was gonna say, like-
Portal.
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, Matt.
Yeah,
It's
as soon as I
Shoot
said
people?
Valve, I was like,
No,
oh my god,
like
Orange
it's
Box.
not
Wait,
the orange
you have to
box.
shoot people. It's got to be Portal, and then Anifix got it. It's like,
Yeah.
he was thinking just a
So-
little faster than I was.
All right, so we will be playing Portal for the next episode
Yes!
of this. It's
Goodness
available
sake.
for
It's a great game.
Windows, Xbox 360 as part of the Orange Box. It was also later broken out into an Xbox Live Arcade title.
I actually have a physical copy of the Orange Box for Windows.
Nice.
Yes.
It's on PS3. I don't know if that's as part of the Orange Box or separately, but it is on PS3. You can also play
both?
it on. You can also play it on OS X, Linux, and it says here there's an Android version.
No, don't do
Don't.
That
No.
must be weird.
it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So it's a
Portal,
it's a-
I think, was the first game I ever got on Steam.
Same.
I think.
It might have been the first game I ever got on Steam
I
too.
bought a copy of the Orange Box thinking I could just put the CD in and play like back in the day. Like you just play from the CD. No, I had to download Steam and input the key.
Or were you?
Why do I even
wrong?
have the CD?
Yeah, that the first time that ever happened to me was when I bought Titanfall 2 for PC. It just came with a code for me to go input on
Yeah.
Origin, which I can't play because I'm locked out of my Origin account. EA, still mad about that.
Actually,
Hold on.
I went to go try and find a physical copy of Battlefront for PC, and everywhere I went, like they just had like a photocopy or like a laser jet color print of the cover art in one of those lock boxes.
Oh
And
yeah.
you took that to the front and they gave you a code. Like it's like, well then I'm just gonna go online and buy it. Like what's the point?
Yeah. So, well, I got the reason that I bought, even though I knew that Titanfall 2 was coming the way that it came, I bought it on Amazon because if you pre-order it and you're a Prime member, you get a discount. So I was like, I'm getting the same game, but like $11 or $12 cheaper than if I bought it directly from EA on Origin. Yeah. So anyway, this game's really good. And speaking of, the next time that we're supposed to do an episode is the same weekend that we're participating in Extra Life. So there's a possibility that me, Joel, and Nolan will talk and we'll just incorporate the show into that. My printer is printing. I wonder if, is that my
That's
wife?
exciting.
That must be my wife doing something because I'm like, what is going on over here? Yeah, so there's a
Coming alive.
possibility.
I emailed the document to your printer.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
thanks.
I don't have your printer's
No.
email.
Hey, it wouldn't
That's
honestly,
the concerning part.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yes, that
Yeah,
would be
really
the
like, wait,
concerning
you don't
part.
have this. Yeah, so there's a possibility that we'll wrap this up into the extra live stream. But stay tuned for that because I'm just having this thought. So I'm only bringing it up because it's a possibility. I don't want anybody to show up on Sunday night and be like, where's OGC? And find out that it happened a day or two earlier. Yeah, so play Portal. It's a good game. It's a great game. All right,
Definitely
we got
the first game I got.
definitely the first Steam game you got.
Yeah, first Steam game I bought, followed closely by Castle Crashers.
Castle Crashers is good too. I'm almost positive that I have it for Steam, but I've also got the 360 version, so I've played this with controller. I've never played it with a mouse and keyboard.
Right.
Anyway, so okay, time for plugs and then for some music. Oh, for those of you who do listen to the audio version of this, you may have noticed I have totally forgot to put the last episode up. I do have it. I just have to upload it. So be on the lookout for that. You'll get this. Nolan, what are you doing?
I don't know.
So we'll have this episode up. And what was the last game that we? Was it?
Last game that
it was that raccoon game. It was a Sly game.
Sly 2.
So,
Yep.
So that
I knew it was my pick.
That one will go up.
Something weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited about doing the music for Portal because clearly there's a particular song that's going. Actually, that might be the only song in the game. About it.
It's
Nah.
essentially. Well, the stuff in the background is just different versions.
There's the
yeah.
There's a it's playing on the radio, or is that Portal 2?
That's Portal 2.
Yeah, never mind.
So
I get them
don't know.
confused.
Oh, we'll worry about that in 2 weeks. All right, Nolan, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Baseman214, Baseman21491, and Icy White Falcon. It various different things. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox, Steam.
Don't you have a Pinterest?
I do have a Pinterest. Yeah. Yes.
Nolan is a Pinterest.
I have a lot of like goofy, funny things. I have a lot of Dark Souls stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are probably the
Who
two
said
biggest
Pinterest
things.
is just for crafts? It's not.
I use Pinterest like for Tumblr. Is honestly like I go through Pinterest. I'm like, that's funny.
Except
Save that.
Tumblr is a toxic cesspool. So.
Exactly. That's I'm like, you know what? That's what I have Pinterest
But
for.
the screenshots that people take and post on other websites are usually pretty good.
Yeah.
No, not Tinder. I don't think there's a Tinder.
Didn't your buddy make one for you?
I don't know. I feel like that was the joke, and then we couldn't find it, so I don't know.
Oh.
That was
And
a
you
joke.
never received a random text message. From
And I
somebody.
never got a text message, so I guess not, or I just nobody liked it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that it didn't happen because you get texts from bots when you do that. I've heard. So.
And also, Nolan is doing that Let's Play of Cuphead. So
Yeah, so go
check that out on the
And-
CrossForge Gaming YouTube channel, which is now youtube.com/CrossForge Gaming. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So you see me
We get
as discussed
700
earlier.
subscribers.
I know. All
Yeah,
of a sudden, I looked. I'm like, what the heck?
We did that that interview with Chris Anthony Delaney for Across the Forge, and Jimmy actually took out an ad on Facebook for it, and so we got a whole bunch of subscribers that way. Now, the last time that he did that, we got up to 70 something subscribers, and then nosedived back down to 50, which I was almost expecting to happen when this happened, because I went through and looked at a bunch of the subscribers, and a lot of the channels that subscribed to us after he took out that ad were like top 10 football injuries of the week or something like that. And I'm like, this guy's not gonna stick around. But we did lose like 30 like pretty quickly.
But hey,
it
still
stayed at
7-11.
Yeah. So I'll take anyway, it can happen. I'll take it. All right, Joel, where do we find you?
Oh, okay. So anywhere you can find me on the internet, you can find me under Obi Watt Kenobi. So Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Nintendo, PSN, Steam, Origin, not Uplay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, not Uplay.
not Uplay.
One of these days, I'm gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like I had to have had a Uplay account because it's on the Geeks Under Grace like username spreadsheet. Like I've got that put in there. So like I had to have had it at one point, and why it's gone now, I don't know. So
Maybe that was you. You just had a weird password.
yeah, but I can't remember. But I don't even remember which email I used, and I tried them all.
I hate when that happens. Or like it was an email address you don't use anymore, and so you can't even get to it.
That's the thing is I do keep all of them active.
Oh yeah,
I have different emails for different purposes, and so yeah.
And then you're going to be starting that Mario Odyssey.
Yes. So
play.
Super Mario Odyssey launches on Friday, October 27th. And so I have to pick up my copy from Best Buy. And so Best Buy doesn't open until 10. It might open at 9. We are starting the Christmas season. But yeah, so it's probably not going to go up until 11. No. Not until the afternoon, I'm going to say, of Friday, like Friday afternoon, my time, which would be Friday evening on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, and I have a super busy weekend that weekend. I have to go work a ladies' retreat. So, yay me. But at the very least, I get to go see a friend from Facebook who lives nearby. So,
sweet.
Where the retreat is taking place. So, that's cool. But yeah.
Right. Cool. You can find me right here on the CrossForge Gaming YouTube channel, also on mostly just CrossForge Gaming stuff. My plug should really just be plugging CrossForge Gaming because I don't do a whole lot. I do have a Facebook page. I'm pretty sure that the URL that I have for it in here is no longer correct because I went back to Huge Cow Patty. So I'm almost positive that it's facebook.com/hugecowpatty. Find me doing that. I'm on Twitter at Patrick Proper, and I'm probably going to change that to Huge Cow Patty, and just so I can keep all my branding the same. So find CrossForge Gaming at facebook.com/CrossForge Gaming, facebook.com/group/CrossForge Gaming, twitter.com/CrossForge Games. Please visit us on Patreon at patreon.com/CrossForge Gaming and consider subscribing. You get some cool stuff that is exclusive to Patreon subscribers. And that's going to be growing very soon, hopefully. You can also we have a merch store with t-shirts and mugs and stuff. It's a really funny URL, so just check for that in the video description here below. We got a lot of really cool things coming up. There's our Extra Life, which if you want to donate to that is down there in the video description. We've got more tournaments coming up. I think we just had a tournament yesterday. I don't know what the results of that are. But you know, there will probably be a CrossForge Gaming podcast this coming Monday, and I'm sure Josh will make sure to mention that. And I'm developing more shows for the YouTube channel. I actually just got done doing a couple mock episodes of a show that I'm developing with 3 other people. I'm not ready to talk about that yet, but hopefully that first real episode is going to go up sometime in November. We got an esports team around a couple of games that is being formed. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff happening here at CFG. I'm excited. Once the holidays come around, I'm sure a lot of that will start to die down, but then it'll pick up in January. You know how it is, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that stuff, hanging out with family. All right. I don't know why I made that weird face. That was strange. I'm gonna stop talking now, and Nolan, tell us what our music's gonna be, and then we'll say goodbye.
So the music that you heard at the beginning was basically the music that plays when you first start the game. The kind of the startup, essentially, like in the game, not the title screen or anything. And then our outro is the Metroid Queen final boss fight music that plays. It's pretty cool. So yeah,
cool.
Enjoy.
All right, thanks for watching. We enjoyed it. Be sure to check back here in 2 weeks for Extra Life and for the next episode of this where we'll be playing Portal. That's going to do it for us. Have a good one, everybody.
Be good, humans.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.